What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on the Miami Dolphins. It is Thursday night, December 15th, 2022. The preview, one day earlier, because the game is on a Saturday this week and not Sunday. But man, it's been a really long week, man. I'm not gonna lie. With the Dolphins, my personal life, I'm back home in New Jersey for the holidays. Cold and rainy, just like it's gonna be cold. And instead of rainy, it's gonna snow in Buffalo on Saturday night. And I have really, I hate being negative, man. But just coming out of that Chargers game, I have really low expectations against the Bills. Saturday night in the cold. It's supposed to be an estimate 9 inches of snow. And most of the snow, the heavy snow, is going to kick in during the game Saturday night. So I'm not looking forward to this game at all. I think the Dolphins are going to go 8-6. I just hate saying that, but we're still going to talk about this game. We're still going to talk about the latest headlines with the Miami Dolphins. Man, I didn't make an extra news video this week just because of, me traveling back home and stuff like that. But I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. The preview one day earlier. So that basically bumps everything up with the game on Saturday. Saturday evening, around 6:45, we will go live with the Hype Me Up pregame show. I'm not sure if I'm going to be hyped up, but we will be going live just like we did before the Chargers game and before every game from now on, every game the Dolphins play, we will go live about an hour and a half before kickoff. So we went live at 6:45 last week. We will go live at 6:45 again this week for the Buffalo Bills game, and then we will do the post-game wrap-up video, of course, Saturday night right after the game, and then Sunday, get to sit back and watch football, start cheering for some teams to lose, and all that, and then Sunday night, I'm pretty sure I'll do a AFC playoff picture breakdown where the Dolphins are, what they need to do. So I'm messing around with playoff predictor a lot, man. So we're going to talk about that Sunday night. Win or lose. Win or lose, we're still talking about the AFC playoff picture Sunday night because it's that time of the year, man. So let's get into this game. And the first thing I really want to talk about is Mike McDaniel. And yesterday, during practice, they had the temperature in the 50s at the Dolphins facility yesterday. The Dolphins staff put the temperature at the mid-50s. It's going to be nowhere near the mid-50s. It's going to be actually colder, way colder than that. Blasting music and blasting some YG, no problem. Vibes seem high in Miami, even though they went 0-2 in California. And this dude's wearing a shirt saying, "I wish it were colder." And unpopular opinion, I don't like that. And I don't like that because, my perspective, you shouldn't be dancing around wearing t-shirts that say, "I wish it were colder," when you had a miserable last 2 games in California. I know Mike McDaniel's the nice, nerdy head coach who doesn't yell at his guys, but, is this really a week to mess around? You've lost 2 games in a row, and you're walking around, dancing around, wearing t-shirts that say, "I wish it were colder." I love McDaniel. Don't get me wrong. He's a great coach. But I wish he could take this a little bit more serious, because I would be on their asses. I'd be like, let's fucking go. You guys just lost two games in a row, but I don't need to see my head coach wearing a shirt that says I wish it were colder, where more than likely it's going to come back and bite him in the ass. Because whether you like it or not, this Dolphins team isn't used to the cold. They played the cold in 2020 in Buffalo, and they got destroyed. Last year in Tennessee, it was rainy and cold. They got destroyed. Last year, even in Buffalo, they lost. The Dolphins don't have a good resume in cold weather games, which scares me, because even if they make the playoffs, I'm not even sure if they're going to make the playoffs at this point. I'm starting to have my doubts, or I'm having doubts, that the Dolphins aren't going to make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, what's going to happen? Because more than likely, they're going to have to go to Kansas City, or they're going to have to go to Buffalo, or Baltimore, or Cincinnati. They're going to have to go to one of those places, and none of them have domes, and it's going to be cold. It's all going to be cold if they end up making the playoffs, and they're going to have to play one of those four teams. If the Dolphins make the playoffs at this point, it's going to be one of those four teams that they're going to play. And the Dolphins don't have a good resume in the cold, man. And I don't like that. And the Bills are really out for revenge from that Week 3 loss. And would they have liked this game? In my opinion, I think they would have liked this game to be more high stakes for the AFC East? Yeah, I think so. But I think it would be a sweet taste in the mouth of the Buffalo Bills if they could just get the Miami Dolphins even further back from the division and even closer to being out of the playoff card. Because if they lose, say they lose this week, the Chargers, which is more than likely, I'm not hating Dolphins fans. I'm just going by the facts. More than likely, the Dolphins are going to lose on Saturday night. Say they're 8-6. The Chargers, they're 8-6. They automatically jump us. The Jets jump us if they beat the Lions, and the Patriots stay in the playoff card if they beat the Raiders. So more than likely, you're looking at the Dolphins on the outside looking in this week. How shameful is that? How pathetic is that? You went from 8-3, a top AFC team, then you go on the road and you fold. It's not over yet, but man, the Dolphins, it's like having a huge exam in school. The past couple of weeks, you've had quizzes. They're not easy quizzes, but you've had quizzes and you passed them with flying colors. And then you get to the tougher exams. You get to the tougher tests, and you fail against the 49ers. And you fail against the Chargers. And more than likely, you're going to fail against the Buffalo Bills. It's just rough, man. It sucks. And it's going to make the last 3 games even more stressful for us fans. So, before we go into this game, if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and check out the post-game recap of the Dolphins and Chargers game I did Sunday night. It'll be up to the end of the video, the last 20 seconds. All you have to do is click it, and it'll take you right to that video. So let's get into this game, man. Dolphins Bills Saturday night, NFL Network. Kevin Kugler and Mark Sanchez set to be on the call for this game. And just really, I've explained it already, but just a game I have really low expectations for him, man. So, let's get into this game. The Dolphins offense against the Bills defense, and then the Dolphins defense against the Bills offense. And the Bills are coming in with a 4-game winning streak against the Browns, the Lions, the Patriots, and the Jets. They beat the Jets last week 20-12, which, dude, by the way, don't let that score fool you. Mike White played really good against the Bills in crappy weather. It was really cold, and it poured the entire game. And Mike White played pretty well, I think. He threw for 268 passing yards in that cold. Now, I don't expect, at least I hope, fingers crossed, I hope Tua Tagovailoa doesn't drop back 44 times like the Jets did with Mike White. Because if he does, we're done. But I thought Mike White played well last week against the Bills for the game he had. So, let's talk about this. The Dolphins offense is ranked 7th overall. Pretty sure last week they were like 3rd or 4th, and now they're 7th. The Dolphins offense is ranked 7th overall for 367 yards per game. The Buffalo Bills defense is ranked 9th with 319 yards per game given up on defense. So the Bills are a top 10 defense. Dolphins passing game is ranked 2nd with 292 yards per game. And the Bills passing defense is ranked 20th with 238 yards given up per game. So I'm not sure if we'll talk about it. The Dolphins run game is ranked 29th. Bills run defense 4th. And I don't even know if I trust McDaniel at this point. I don't know if I trust him because we wanted to run the ball against the Chargers. The Chargers had one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. They're horrible. They're a bottom 5 run defense in the NFL, let alone a bottom 5 defense. And Raheem Mostert had 11 carries for 37 yards. Jeff Wilson got hurt with a hip injury, and we don't know if he's going to play. He was limited at practice today, and he's questionable for Saturday night. Fingers crossed he plays. Because if he doesn't play, we're screwed. We need Raheem Mostert to have a big game. And I say it every week, man. I say it every week, but I feel like at this point, there's no point because they're not going to run the ball. Even in the snow, I can't trust this coaching staff to get a good run game going and against the Bills, a top 5 run defense. And the Jets, last week, were able to run the ball against the Bills. Last week, Zavon Knight, 17 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he had a solid game. If we could get a game like that out of Raheem Mostert or out of Jeff Wilson, man, please, I would love that. Because in a game like this, where it's expected to be 9 inches of snow, you have to be able to run the football. That's a similar way as I'm going to put it. You cannot be doing what you did last week, dropping Tua Tagovailoa back. You cannot drop him back 30 times and expect him to make good throws in the snow. You can't. You have to rely on your terrible run game, which has been bad all season, outside of one game. One game you were able to run the ball, which was the Browns game. One game you were able to run the ball. They're going to have to rely a lot on running the ball, and they're going to have to rely a lot on getting the ball quick out of Tua's hands to Tyreek Hill. And I'm not talking 20 to 15 yards down the field. No, I'm talking screens or slants, 5 yards, quick, and let Tyreek go to work. My theories for this game, for the Dolphins offense, is, again, I'm going to say it, but I know it's not going to happen. Because that's the Dolphins. You have to run the ball. You have to run the ball, and you have to get the ball into number 10's hands. Because he is your best player on offense, and getting it in his hands quick, hopefully he can make some shit happen, man. So, and he has, in my opinion, he has the best experience in cold weather games because he spent most of his career playing in Kansas City. And Kansas City, it's always cold in Kansas City. And we don't have a lot of experienced players playing in the cold, which sucks, but we're going to try our best, man. We're going to try our best, but I would say the two biggest things on offense is get the run game going if you can. Fingers crossed Jeff Wilson plays Saturday night, and get the ball to Tyreek Hill, man. Get the ball to your playmaker. Get the ball to Tyreek Hill. Toronto Armstead, I'm pretty sure, is going to play. He's questionable with a knee and pec injury, but he already told reporters that. He already told reporters that he's out there, that he's playing. So, if there's a barring major setback and he doesn't play, it's a big loss, man. It's a big loss. But, we'll see, man. You need to be able to run the ball at least a little bit, man, because you cannot have Tua Tagovailoa dropping back 30 passes in this game. You can. He threw the ball. He threw the ball 18 times against the Bills in the first game. I better see no more than 20 passes in the snow. So I hope they can run the ball, man. That's all I want. And get the ball to Tyreek Hill. Dolphins defense against the Bills offense. Dolphins defense is ranked 20th with 350 yards given up per game. The Bills offense is ranked 7th. They're ranked 7th. Or not 7th, I'm sorry. That's the Dolphins. They're ranked 2nd. They're ranked 2nd in the NFL. Dolphins passing defense is ranked 25th. So that's near bottom 5 of the NFL. Bills passing offense is ranked 6th in the NFL. Dolphins run defense is ranked 7th, and the Bills run offense is ranked 8th. And that's mostly because of Josh Allen and him being a mobile quarterback. It's not the running backs. It's not Devin Singletary, and it's not James Cook. Yeah, they're good running backs, but they don't carry the load for the Bills' running game. Who does? Josh Allen. And that's one of my keys. That's one of the big things going into this game. Maybe the biggest. Josh Boyer. You had a horrible game last week, my man. Play calling was bad. Your defense overall didn't play bad, but your play calling was bad, Josh Boyer. You need to have a game plan to contain Josh Allen and to not let him get outside the pocket and go run for a first down. And please, for the love of God, do not blitz on third down. Please, do not blitz on third down because all they have to do is dump it off. You saw what the Chargers did last week. You blitzed on third down, and you dumped it off to Eckler for a first down, or you dumped it off to Keenan Allen for a first down. The same thing is going to happen this week. All Josh Allen has to do is dump it to his wide receivers. Dump it off to Gabe Davis or Stephon Diggs. Dump it off to Devin Singletary and James Cook. That's all you have to do. So, contain Josh Allen in the passing game and in the run game. And Josh Allen, the run game. Yes, because Josh Allen is the leader of the Bills' run game. He's the force of the Buffalo Bills' run game. Just like Justin Fields, that one game against the Bears is the main force for the Bears' run game. Josh Allen is the same force for the Bills' run game too, and he gets most of their yards. And you need to come up with a game plan for that, man. But I mean, this is going to be, and also get pressure. I say it every week. Last week, I thought they did a pretty good job. Christian Wilkins and Jalen Phillips. The rest of the guys got to get a good job. You know, Van Ginkel, Bradley Chubb, my man. Where were you last week? The Sunday Night Football crew barely said his name. Zayler, Melvin Ingram. Get to Josh Allen, man. Get to Josh Allen and make him make terrible throws in the snow, which hopefully we can capitalize and get interceptions off of. But, man, I will tell you what. I hate being negative, but I'm going into this game negative because of this team's performance the past 2 weeks. And do I think it's going to change Saturday night? No. No, I'm going to be straight up with you. This is the first time that I'm not predicting a game in my preview. This is the first time I'm predicting a game in my preview. Not the score, but the outcome. No. I don't think we're going to win. Actually, the second, because I said we were going to beat the Texans, and we did beat the Texans. But no, I have no confidence at all against the Bills. After the way they played the last 2 weeks, now you got to come into Buffalo on a short week in a blizzard, in 20-degree weather, the high 20s. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, man. But if the Dolphins pull off the miracle, if they pull off a miracle and beat the Bills on Saturday night, I will sit right here and I will apologize and I will never doubt the Miami Dolphins this season again. So, I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Excuse me. Catching my breath for a second. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be live an hour and a half before the game on Saturday. We'll be live with the pregame Hype Me Up show, with the Hype Me Up pregame show Saturday at 6:45 here on the channel. We'll be live for that, and then right after is the post-game recap video, and then Sunday night we'll be going over the AFC playoff picture after Week 15, because Sunday night's Giants and Commanders, and Monday night's Rams Packers, and those games have no implications on the AFC. So we'll go over the AFC playoff picture on Sunday night. So subscribe for that. Comment down below if you're a Dolphin or a Bills fan. Leave your prediction down below, what you think is going to happen. Do you have confidence, unlike me? Do you have confidence in this game, unlike me? Or are you on the same page as me? And we really don't have a lot of confidence going into this game. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. You can follow me on Twitter and TikTok at comment_Joseph. And guys, I will see you Saturday, 6:45 live for the Hype Me Up pregame show. Have a good one. Stay safe. Fins up.